Good afternoon, everybody. Today we will discuss about the British political system. The presentation explains the United Kingdom's political system, its constitutional monarchy, major institutions, the Crown, Parliament, and the government, and how they interrelate. It emphasizes historical roots, constitutional conventions, and the practical distribution of power between the monarch, the elected House of Commons, the revising House of Lords, and the executive cabinet. Use this as a concise guide for students of politics and international relations too. Regions and the constitutional character. Here we see that three pillars, they are monarchy, parliament, and government, the core institutions. Unwritten constitution, conventions, statutes, and judicial decisions from the constitutional fabric. And separation of powers, partial separations, the judiciary largely independent, and the legislature and the executive overlap. And the monarch rules and residual powers. Legally, the monarch is head of state, head of the executive, and an integral part of the legislature and judiciary. In practice, sovereign powers are exercised on ministerial advice. Important formal powers remain, summoning, proroguing, and dissolving parliament, granting royal assent, honors, and some appointments, and acting as commander-in-chief. The constitutional convention is that the monarch reigns but does not rule. What you understand from this abstract that the Queen and the Prime Minister constitutional partnership. Here we know that weekly audiences, royal prerogative, and appointment powers. There are weekly audiences, private meetings where the Prime Minister briefs the monarch, and the royal prerogative level powers exercised on ministers' advice, example, treatise and honors, and the appointment powers, formal appointment, dismissal of ministers, though guided by convention. And the House of Commons, center of political power. The Commons is the elected chamber and the principal locus of political authority. Government is formed from its majority, and the speaker presides impartially, enforces procedure, and only votes to break ties. Commons adversarial layout, government and opposition, benches facing each other, reinforce partition accountability. They are the first election and composition where nationwide first past post constitutions is produced the chambers membership, and the government formation party with a common majority forms the governmental leader becomes prime minister, and speaker imperial chair to regulates debate and votes only to break ties. And the House of Lords, composition and rule. The Lords is a legally appointed revising chamber made half of life peers, hereditary peers, a limited number, but they will be, and the bishops, the senior judicial figures. Its primary purpose is legislative scrutiny, revision, and expertise rather than direct democratic mandate. And Her Majesty's government and the cabinet. The government governs in the name of the crown, but draws its legitimacy from parliamentary majority. The prime minister leads the cabinet, a core team of senior ministers directing policy and administration. Ministers are collectively and individually responsible to parliament. They are governmental ministers and ministers of state and juniors and the cabinet. Judiciary and constitutional balance. Here we see the legislature parliament makes law, control finance, and executive with government implements policy and runs the state. Where interprets law and enforces legal limits judiciary cards, as in our Kazakhstan cards too. And here from this lecture, we have takeaways and areas for further study, that study topics and practical questions. You may answer to these questions as a seminar task. That's all what I wanted to introduce about the government, British political system. If you have any question, you may ask from me, of course. And I want only to say thanks to you for your attention and listening this lecture.